Oh, it's just clear that Glenn stood away from the table for that scene.
Oh, right, okay, so just noting that Glenn sat back as one of the existing representatives. That's fine. So now we come to the hearings panel report to the Council on the proposed amendment to the Freedom Camping Bylaw of 2015 for Akaroa. Item 12. Staff are on their way for this one. Are they literally minutes away, or? Okay.
Are there any questions?
Okay. Let's move into this. Dave, I'll ask you to introduce this item as the chair of the hearings panel.
Thank you. Look, we had a hearing in Akaroa on this matter. The amendments to the Freedom Camping Act relate specifically to Akaroa itself, and we considered the proposal to ban freedom camping in all parts of Akaroa apart from designated areas at one end of the township. We also considered an additional piece of car parking immediately behind the Grand Hotel, but on considering feedback and from the local residents and other potential problems, we decided not to go ahead with that particular option at this time. I think I would just let the paper speak for itself. We have redesigned the car parking spaces in the existing area now to allow for a more ordered and considered parking in that area for freedom campers. It's been accepted amongst the local community. Another initiative that has evolved in the Akaroa area is empowering the local police to administer aspects of freedom camping. So we're confident that these amendments to the to the Freedom Camping Bylaw would greatly improve the situation that has existed in Akaroa for the last 12 months or more. I think hopefully the staff will appear in a moment that may be able to answer any further questions, but I'm happy to move the the panel's recommendation to council.
So you're happy to be the mover. I'm happy to second that. Are there any and thanks, Dave, for that introduction. Are there any questions for staff? Is there any debate? I'll just make a couple of comments. This came out of community feedback on the last summer season and the behaviour of freedom campers in Akaroa in general, but in particular the bad behaviour of a small number of freedom campers, the effect of increasing numbers of freedom campers on the town. And the community, through a number of community members, made deputations to the community board, and the community board asked the council to consider some amendments further restricting freedom camping activities in Akaroa. So it's that process that gave rise to this piece of work. I'd like to acknowledge the staff who have been involved in this, and in particular the speed at which this piece of work has moved. We were very keen to do the work over the winter so that we could get any amended rules in place for the summer season. And by passing this set of recommendations today, the effect of that will be that we're able to get new signage up in Akaroa, we're able to get some new road markings in place in the freedom camping area, and we will have these new restrictions in place. We talked about by the 1st of December, ready for the summer season so that we can better control these activities. The hearings panel did consider significantly expanding the area of the freedom camping area at the entrance to Akaroa into another area just behind the Grand Hotel. On initial feedback from directly affected parties neighbouring that proposed enlarged site, we decided not to pursue that at this time, although through working with our roading and traffic staff, we have been able to find a way of squeezing in just a small number of additional spaces into the existing freedom camping area. One of the things that we are going to do is have those areas marked more clearly, and we also have the rule that allows only one vehicle per space, and that all freedom camping activities should take place within that marked area. That prevents a proliferation of deck chairs and picnic tables and awnings and those sort of things outside of the area that each vehicle is parked in, and just allows us to better enforce and keep the activities tidy. Again, reflecting community concerns about the effect of freedom camping on the look and feel of Akaroa. So I welcome this. I think it responds well to the community concerns which have been raised. It was good that we were able to hear from respondents by way of submission in Akaroa and then again here in Christchurch, so that people were able to present their submissions locally in Akaroa. That also allowed the hearings panel to have a walk around Akaroa, do a site visit and look at the area that we were making decisions on, making recommendations on in some detail. So the whole process has been a good one. I'm pleased it's been able to happen so that we can get this in place for the summer season. Of course, any new rules also require to be enforced, and I welcome the additional resourcing which we're going to be putting in place in Akaroa this summer, and in fact across the city, where we will be enforcing 7 days a week, including weekends and public holidays, and enforcement activities will be occurring at those times that we would expect people to be sleeping in their vehicles, actually engaging in the act of freedom camping. So I think this will see some improvements that will see this whole regime work a lot better than it maybe has in the past. So yeah, I certainly welcome it. Glenn.
Thank you, Andrew. It's good to see this significant progress from the point of view of having been on the original hearings panel with you and David, and at that point freedom camping really had, or soon after, got out of control in the whole district. So now I think this strikes a good balance between throwing the welcome mat open for visitors and thereby allowing them to make a contribution to the local economy, but also respecting the locals themselves. We all know this has had a huge social impact nationwide, but it's good that the new government's picked up the issue, got the mayors and the chairs, people like yourself, together, and has now resourced it. We're seeing funding coming our way over on the coast, and I think to your area too, by the provision of toilets, for instance, which actually, when you drill down, was one of the most common features behind the whole problem. So, yeah, fully supportive and great to see the progress.
Thank you. Any further debate? I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Against? That's carried.